last class I have discussed about the basic structures of different solid state devices like MOSFET and the power MOSFET and the power diode. Okay, so today I am going to discuss about another few solid state devices, and very brief discussions will be there. Okay, so here you can observe that you know about the BJT. BJT means bipolar junction transistor. So BJT is an current control device. Previously, I have discussed about the MOSFET. MOSFET is the voltage control device. Okay, so in this case, for triggering the BJT, so you need to check the current strength of that base driver circuit. Okay, because normally we are using in our circuit BJT as a common emitter configuration, means CE configurations. Okay, why we are choosing CE configuration? There is some reasons. Okay, I think all of you are aware about that reason because it is a very basic idea in analog electronics idea. So why we are choosing that common emitter configuration instead of common base and common collector configuration? Okay, so in case of common emitter configuration, so normally we have given some pulse to the base of the bipolar junction transistor. Okay, so as it is the current driven devices, so the current strength of that transistor should be of that base driver circuit should be very high. Otherwise, that BJT will not be triggered. Okay, so here you can see the structures of that cross section structures of your BJT. So emitter, base, and collector you can get over there, and here you can over to see that different solid state devices doping 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 values. Okay, so you know that n minus and n, the difference between that concentration of this n minus, definitely it will be lesser to your n. Okay, so it is nearer to the NPN configuration, I think so. It is NPN configurations. Okay, so collector is there. Okay, so what are the most important features? Okay, so in interdigitated base and the emitter contacts. Okay, so you can see that different metal contacts are there, so you can connect over there. Vertical current flow, definitely the current flow vertically. Okay, not horizontally. So current flow from n minus to the n. Okay, so that configuration as per your biasing voltage. NPN device is shown. You can see it's an NPN device. Minority carrier devices. Actually, BJT is an example of the minority carrier devices. On state, when it will be on, that base emitter and the collector base junctions are both should be the forward bias. You know that on. Okay, and on state the sustained minority charge in P and N minus region. Okay, so that should be the conducted. Okay, and modulation, so the conductivity of the modulation, because the carriers are there, so that will be mobility, so speed of that carrier flow, that means charge carrier flow inside of your film, so that defines the how much current is flowing to your devices. Okay, so definitely there is some rated current. Okay, that should not be go beyond the rated current and the voltage. Okay, but the rated voltage and rated current, so definitely that how much watts you can go, you can implementable your BJT is going to be implemented, or how much watts, that also be important issue. Here you can see the symbolic structures of BJT. Okay, so VES means source voltage is given to inside in between the base. Here you can see it is your base and emitter, in between base emitter, so VBE is there. Okay, so here you can see that instantaneous values are there, so VS is there, so it is starting. So when you can see the structure of that base, okay, so it may work for positive as well as negative. Okay, negative voltage. If you see the base configuration, that means base current, if you see that first it was in IB1, so when base will be turned on, then you can make it off. Then IB on means minimum amount of current is required for turned on your base. Okay, after that, after certain time you can give it minus IB2 also, no problem, but it will still working. Okay, so after that it will be zero. Okay, so it's your ideal base current waveform of that BJT. So here you can also see that VCE means common, it's a common emitter. configuration. CE means your collector emitter voltage drop. That is, these voltage are already standard, and that means already given to your data sheet of the provided by the manufacturer of this BGT, because it depends upon your fabrications. Okay, so depending upon your fabricating, that means manufacturing or companies. Okay, so different companies are there, so different company material, that value should be nearer same. Okay, and that value should be nearer to the standard value, because we have to use the calibration. Okay, higher value means higher drop, means in between that base to emitter VBEO. Okay, and leakage is there, some leakage current is there in between base to emitter, some of the leakage also be there in between the collector to your emitter. Okay, so that value should not be beyond the standard value. Okay, that means calibrated value. Okay, if it is beyond your standard value, then you can say like that you have to refabricate the devices. Okay, so it is not passed of the calibrations. Okay, so that's why you have to maintain some of the standard things. So here you can see RB is your base resistance, RL is your what collector resistance connected in between. VCC means collector source. Okay, so it is your bias voltage. VCC is your bias voltage of your appeared in your collector in between collector to emitter. Okay, so it's a bias voltage. So here you can see different waveforms of VB. So suddenly that state change is not possible. So it will take some time from one zero state to some of the values. This 0.7 volt is there as per the silicon, as per your, if it is silicon, then that value is different. If it is germanium, that value is different. Okay, so depends upon your selection of your solid state material, that value will be different. Okay, so here the main thing is that how much time is required to reach from minus value to max, the standard value. Okay, so then some of the drop is there, inherent drop is there, you cannot minimize that drop. Okay, so some of the slopes you can see over there, so suddenly you cannot make it zero, so it will take some time for making it zero. So that is transient response in the time scale, that is shown, that is shown over here. Okay, so you know that one, that base current, if you are able to control, so you can control the output of that BJT. Okay, so it totally depends upon your base current. Okay, so here you can see the pattern of your ideal base current waveform. Now you can see the current flow. So I have already told you it is your NPN transistor. Okay, so and the minority carrier devices. Okay, so current are being due to the excessive IV2. So excessive IV2 means here you can see that IV2, that is your base current. Okay, so it is appeared in between that emitter base is there, emitter base. Okay, and the collector, three things are there. So the terminal is here. Okay, and three terminal devices are there. So as per your base current, okay, so that charging means if it is plus or minus, so the minority carriers will be majority carriers will be attracted to your base, or sometimes repulsing with your base. Okay, depends upon your how much voltage you are appeared over here. Okay, so finally the charges are flowing. So as the flowing of that charges, you can see some vertical currents. Okay, it's coming from collector to emitter, but who will control that current? Definitely the base voltage. Okay, so if you increase that base voltage, so current strength of this base voltage base, that will be changed. Okay, as per their changing, so that film and my carrier density will be changing. Okay, so as it will be much more crowded, so current will be hampered from flowing from collector to emitter. That's why if you reduce that value of current, so definitely, sorry, if you increase the value of current, so minority charges will be coming from here, and that portion will be evacuated. Okay, so that evacuated portion will be taken place by that sorry, that charge is coming from collector. Okay, so you can see that sorry, charge is flowing from emitter to collector. Okay, so the current is flowing from collector to emitter. So that is the basic operation. So can lead to formation of the hotspot and device failure. So definitely huge amount of charge are flowing inside of that carrier of that solid state devices. That's why you have to design some efficient heat sink for your solid state devices, okay, for reducing or for the cooling of the devices. Otherwise what happen, due to the huge current flowing in between that in between different dopings layer of your solid state devices, that may cause for high I2R loss. Okay, so high I2R T loss, then high I2R T energy will be there, means that may cause for burning out the devices. Okay, so cooling is most important thing. Normally the area of the cooling is required that 200 times of that area of your devices. Okay, so that can maintain the cooling. So sometimes you can use some force cooling by using some fans. Okay, so normally that fans are used for the processors, switch mode power supply. Okay, so that can making your system cooling. Okay, you can see plot that IC base IUV. Okay, so that plotting is there in between collector current and IB. So while IB in your x-axis, definitely which it's an active devices, no? So active solid state devices. So definitely some controlling is there. Okay, so whose main features for controlling the current flow of the devices, which is your input. So definitely IB is your input, and IC is depends upon your input, means IC is the dependent variable and IB is your independent variable. Okay, so if you control the value of IB, definitely IC value will be controlled, because the inside of the channel will be the channel resistance will be differ as the polarity and the current intensity of that IB has changed. The film concentration, the charge content concentration in between the film, it has been changed. Okay, if that is being changed, means the flowing of the current IC, it will sometimes it will be hampered, sometimes it will be very smooth. Okay, depending upon that value of IB. So if you see that if you increase the value of IB in your right side, okay, from 0 to so how it will be increased? So you are increasing the voltage. Okay, so voltage has been increased. So what you can see that IC value also will increase. Okay, then you can see some of the region are there. So it is called active region. So how much active region? So it is your active region, and quasi saturation region also be there. Okay, in between the active region and the saturation region. Okay, that is called the quasi saturation region. So normally you know that beta value normally it will be calculated. Okay, that means gain of that your devices. Okay, cutoff is there. Initially it was cutoff, and here you can see the saturation. So depending upon the value of VCE, the saturation range has been changed. Okay, so that's why that devices are normally working on that quasi saturation region. Okay, here you can see VCE value maximum is 200 volt. Here 20 volt and VC 5 volt. So significant amount of voltage has changed, but that region is more or less constant. Okay, it's not a big change, but variation is there. So if you increase that value of VCE, so it will be reached as a saturation level. Okay, so then you can see that there is non-linear changing is there. Okay, so it's a quasi saturation region. Okay, so here you can observe that offset when IB equals to 0, definitely your BJT will be 0. If your IB equals to 0, BJT will be 0. So it is your cutoff region. Okay, when the IB greater than IC by beta. Okay, so you know like that IB by IC greater than beta. Okay, so beta is the ratio in between the current of base current and the collector current. Okay, so if that ratio is greater than 1, sorry, greater than beta, definitely that it will be on. Okay, because the IB value should be very high. Okay, then you will get some value of IC. Current gain beta decreases rapidly high current. So the device should not be operated at instantaneous current exceeding the rate of rated value. Okay, that's the reason for that's the characteristics of BJT. Here you can see some breakdown voltage. Okay, so here you can see VCE that value. Okay, and IC that value. Okay, by changing of that value of IB. So IB if you have increased, then you can see if the IB value is increased. So initially IB value is very less. Okay, so some voltage is required. So that is VCBO for the breakdown voltage. Okay, so for the breakdown voltage initially that emitter is open. Okay, so IB value is 0 over here. Okay, so emitter is open, so you should give some huge amount of voltage to turn on that device. Okay, so how do you turn on? It will be, there will be some avalanche breakdown. Okay, so your system will be turned on, means your solid state device will be turned on. Then if you increase the value of IV, so initially here you can see after avalanche breakdown you can see that IV is 0. Okay, but it will be turned on. Okay, so with some value of BVCEO. Okay, so that values are approximately nearer. Okay, so then finally you are increasing the value of beta, means IV. So gradual increasing of IV, so that saturation region, so finally you can see that IC value is increasing. Initially that IV value is less, IV value is very less, tends to 0. Okay, so that's the issue. So what are that significance of that individual terms? Okay, so B VCVO CVO means it's an average breakdown voltage. Okay, when the base collector junction, average breakdown in between base and collector junction with the emitter is open circuited. Okay, so it is happened when your emitter is open, but it is observed in between base and collector, that's why CV. Okay, then BVCEO. Okay, initially it was CBO, now it is CEO. Okay, so it's a collector emitter breakdown voltage with zero base current. Okay, so here you are giving the voltage in between the collector and emitter. Okay, but there is no base current. Okay, so after certain voltage definitely there is some breakdown, and that may be responsible for some of the flow of current. That current is known as definitely IC current. Then capital B V ACUS means is the saturation. Okay, so breakdown voltage, observe that positive base current. Okay, when that there is some positive base current, here you can see that IV is 0, but here BB shows ACUS means you are getting some positive values of IV. Okay, so that is reason for breakdown of that solid state device and current is flowing. After that you can increase the value of IV. So in most of the application, the off state transistor voltage must not be exceeded by capital B V CEO. So that value should not be exceeded. Okay, that may cause for failure of the devices. Okay, so that all the standard value provided by the manufacturer, and that is noted to your data sheet. So before giving the voltage to connect, before giving some bias voltage to your transistor, okay, so you should go through that data sheet very well manner. Otherwise, if you give the more than that rated voltage, okay, so your devices may damage. Okay, that's the reason for providing the data sheet with your devices. Okay, so then here you can see the Darlington connected BJT. So what is the process of why it is required? Because sometimes we are using totem pole configuration, Darlington configuration for increasing the strength. Okay, so gain of your current, increasing the current gain of your devices. Okay, sometimes what happens, I have already told you that your BJT is your current control device. Okay, so definitely that configuration is important for if you use that BJT as a triggering circuit. If you are using as a BJT in your triggering circuit and you need to trigger some other devices. Okay, so in that case, if you are able to see that current is not much more amplified. Okay, so for the single BJT, so in that case you need to more amplification required. If you see that more amplification required, so in that case you have to include another BJT. Okay, so for strengthening that current value of that, so strengthening the current strength of this driver circuit or the triggering circuit. Okay, that's why you are using different types of configuration. First one you can say like that, it's a Darlington configuration. If you see that both of the cases that collector point is common. Okay, both of the transistor, but here you can see that emitter current, the Q1 BJT is feeding to your base of the second BJT, that is Q2. Okay, so base finally you are giving some base current. Okay, so some base current that is turned on your Q1 BJT. Okay, but what happened? That D1 the diode D1 is blocking, okay, initially blocking to trigger that base of the Q2, okay, so it is blocking, that's why the diode is there, okay, for the blocking of that base pulse to the, because plus first you are giving that plus minus, okay, due to the plus minus the terminal is biased, it is minus, so is connected to your N terminal of the diode, so that may blocking, means diode will be reverse bias, only Q1 will be turned on, okay, so when it will be turned on, so some of the current will be there, so that is coming here, that emitter current is coming here to feed the Q2, okay, to feed the Q2 base of the Q2, and rest of the thing, that collector current is coming over here, so it is connecting that bias voltage, VCC is there, so here the VCC is connected, okay, so VCC is there, that can provide that bias voltage of Q1 Q2 both side, okay. So I think you are able to understand. So what is the reason? To increase the current gain for the high voltage application, okay. So monolithic Darlington devices, okay, transistor Q1 and Q2 are integrated, okay, you can see that's an NPN, okay, not pointed to the base, okay, NPN transistor, two transistor are NPN, and same silicon wafer, okay, both of the cases that semiconductor is same, okay, doping of the semiconductor is same. Diode D1 speed up the turn of processes and allowing the base driver to actively remove the stored charge both Q1 and Q2 during the turn off transition. So it will be turn off, so it will be charge flowing path, okay, it is charge flowing path in between that Q1 and Q2, okay, and also it blocking that voltage, okay. So what you can conclude from this study, that BJT has been replaced by the MOSFET in low voltage, means less than 500 volt application. BJT is being replaced by IGBT application of voltage above 500 volts. So in IGBT application is high current rating as well as high voltage rating application, okay, that is integration of MOSFET and BJT, okay, that is your IGBT. A minority carrier devices compared with the MOSFET and the BJT exhibit the slower switching but lower on-state resistance at high voltage, that is most important, okay. So initially MOSFET having very high voltage and very high resistance as the input, but BJT has a very moderately low resistance as a input, so that may cause for if you add very high resistance input of the BJT, that may cause for unnecessary potential drop, okay, so signal may be lost, okay. So next one is your IGBT, means insulated gate bipolar junction, insulated gate bipolar transistor, IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistor, okay. Junction is not there, so transistor. So minority carrier injection, so again it's an example of that minority carrier devices, okay. So emitter is there, emitter and collector both are there, but only gate, okay, so voltage driven, but it is current control device, okay. So here you can see MOSFET like that, gate is there, okay, and rest of the thing it is P-N minus, okay, and rest of the thing, so it's look like a 4-layer devices, okay, similar in construction to the MOSFET except extra P region. So extra P region means that P region, okay. In MOSFET it is not there, okay. On state condition, the minority carriers are injected into N minus region. So minority carriers are injected from P to N minus, okay. So it is drifting from P side to P channel to N channel, okay, leading to the conductivity of the modulations, okay. Compared with the MOSFET, slower switching time, definitely switching time is slower, means switching frequency is high, okay. So lower on resistance, definitely because you are connecting with that BJT. So in case of BJT, input resistance is comparatively low with your MOSFET, so definitely it having lower on-state resistance, okay, useful to the high voltage application up to 1700 volt, okay. Here you can see the symbols, okay, symbols of the BJT, gate is there and collector and emitter, okay, both are there. So it's your equivalent circuit, okay. So MOSFET is there, so that's a gate is there, so then it is connected to the emitter and rest of the portion is coming from the BJT, okay. So it is a PNP BJT and it is a MOSFET Okay, so location of the equivalent devices. So here you can see that BJT portion is look like that. This portion is your BJT, and this portion is coming from your MOSFET. Okay, so N is there in MOSFET. N is there, that is connected over here. That N. Okay, NPN MOSFET. Okay, so N is there. Another N minus is there like MOSFET, and that is connected to the P. So here you can see that P is common. So P is connected as a it's an emitter. Okay, it's an emitter, and it's your collector, I think so. No, it is emitter and it is collector. Okay, it is emitter actually, and it is collector. So collector is connected with that gate drain source. Now it is your gate drain source. Okay, source of that and, MOSFET. Okay, gate drain source. Okay, source of that, source and emitter both are source and collector both are connected in case of BJT. Okay, and your gate is connected here, your base is connected to that N minus, and P is common. Okay, so you can see the current rating, current reading of that IGBT. So both of the cases. Okay, so if you add both of them, so area of the W of means how much losses are there. Okay, PA equal to VA into IA. Okay, so diode waveforms are there. So okay, so voltage is changing minus V to up to IL. Okay, so IGBT waveforms, how it will be look like that. IL is first, it will be high, then it will be goes down, and current trailing is there. Finally you will get the voltage of gate voltage. Okay, so here is there. Okay, so some diagrams are there. Okay, means time domain diagrams are there for different timing range T0, T1 to T and up to T3. Okay, so as per the time range, how their operation will be going on, that is shown in this figure. Okay, so here you can see different characteristics of several commercial devices, means IGBT devices, single chip devices, multiple chip power modules. Okay, so single IGBT also will available, as well as module of the IGBT. Module of the IGBT consists of 3 IGBTs, and single means it's one. Okay, so different ratings are there as per their part number. You can see that maximum voltage. Okay, so different part number, different voltages are there, and as well as some rated average currents. Okay, so here you can see that 32N means 32 amperes is there, 60 means it is 600 volt. Here you can see 30N means again 30 ampere, 120 means 1200 volt. Okay, and that forward voltage drop, that is 2.4, and it is 3.2. Okay, so TF is there. Okay, so both the microsecond range. Multiple chip power modules, again that here it is 400 ampere you can see, and 12B means it is half of that voltage. It is showing that 600 volt, and 400 means 400 ampere. Okay, that blocking forward drop voltage drop is given already as in your data sheet. Both of the cases it is given 300 its value, all the values are given. Okay, so it is directly taken from the data sheet. So what we can conclude it from that IGBT becoming the device choice of 500 to 1700 volt application at the power level is 1 to 100 1000 kilowatt. Okay, so it is 1 megawatt range maximum. The positive temperature coefficient, high current, easy to parallel and construct the modules. Okay, forward voltage drop VF is there, so that diode in series with on-state resistance, so 2 to 4 volt normally dropped. Okay, so easy to drive, similar to the MOSFET, because MOSFET driver circuit, because gate is common now, so gate is same like your MOSFET, so same driver. So slower than MOSFET but faster than Darlington GTO SCR. Okay, typical switching frequency is 3, but in case of MOSFET it is 500 kilohertz. Okay, so IGBT technology is rapidly advancing. Next generations are up to 2500 volt. Okay, right now also another generation has come. Okay, so but main limitations of this IGBT, it cannot go beyond 30 kilohertz application. Okay, so that's why we are asking for the MOSFET. So now different another switches are available. That's why for the limitations of switching frequency, some of the applications are required that very high switching frequency is required for megahertz range. So with as well as that simple gate driver and that voltage level, maximum voltage level. So we are normally using that SiC, silicon carbide devices, gallium nitride devices, that means GaN devices. Okay, that's where going to be main motivations. Okay, then you know the basic structure of thyristor. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss about it in much more thing because it is very it's a BTech level idea. Okay, so some diagrams are already there, means SCR diagram is already there. Okay, so symbol is there, so anode, cathode and the gates. Okay, so two NPN transistors, both will be, it is equivalent circuit. So both 2 NPN, how it will be connected. Okay, so it is not point. Okay, NPN, it is PNP. Okay, PNP and NPN. Okay, both will be connected over here, and how it will be look like that, the construction, all of you can understand. Okay, so then you can see what are the most important. So it's a VI characteristics. Okay, so positive feedback of latching devices. Okay, I have already told you that's a latching device. So finally, forward blocking voltage, it is a forward blocking voltage without having gate pulse. Okay, then if you increase the gate pulse, the blocking, so it came to cathode breakdown voltage without having gate pulse. Okay, if it, so it can tolerate maximum VAK. So rating of the thyristor also been, SCR also been important. So silicon control rectified. Okay, SCR. So initially gate pulse is gate current is 0. Then if you will change it from 0 to increasing from IG, it is automatically increasing. So forward blocking voltage is there. Okay, by reducing, increasing the value of IG, so forward blocking voltage is reducing. Okay, so it is your forward conducting position, then the reverse blocking. Okay, reverse breakdown, how much value maximum it can be go, then reverse breakdown. The main advantages of that SCR is it can go very high voltage, and we are it having capability to deal with very high voltage. It is 5000 to 6000 voltage, and current rating also very high, 1000 to 2000 ampere range. Okay, again it's a minority carrier devices, double injection lead, very low on resistance, hence low forward voltage drop, attainable very high voltage devices. Simple construction, large in size. Okay, so definitely it is very large size. Okay, cannot actively turned off. So voltage bidirectional to quadrant switch. Okay, these are the very basic features of that your SCR. Okay, so here you can see the construction. Again the vertically current is flowing. Okay, so it is P n minus P. Okay, and that it is your n P n minus and P n minus n. Okay, so both of the cases, 2 n to 2 layer of n is connected. So it's your cathode, gate and your cathode, and rest of the side is your anode. So IA is your anode current. So minus Ig you are giving. So what happens? So large feature side, negative gate current induce the lateral voltage drop along the gate cathode injection, gate cathode junction. Gate cathode junction becomes reverse biased only the vicinity of that gate to connect. Okay, so that's the way from current is flowing over there. Okay, based on the mobility of your carriers. Okay, so it's a minority carrier devices, so mobility of that carriers, that current may be flow. Okay, but who will control that one? Definitely gate. Okay, so another thing is that gate turn off thyristor. Okay, that is known as GTO. Okay, so an SCR fabricated using modern technique, that smaller inside gate and cathode can conduct very high interdigitated conditions. Okay, negative gate current is able to complete the reverse bias of that gate cathode junction. Okay, so in turn off transistor means transition means turn off condition, the gain typically 2 to 5, the maximum controllable on state current, the maximum anode current that can be turned off via the gate control. Okay, so GTO can conduct the peak current well in express in average current rating, but cannot switch off. Okay, so all having this group, that means SCR group having main problem of their switching off condition. Okay, so you can go for natural commutation. Okay, but if you don't have any options for the natural commutation, maybe you are using for the DC circuit. So how do you communicate? How do you commutate? Okay, so that's why some auxiliary circuit always be required for turning of that SCR. Okay, otherwise SCR is very rigid and very robust type of solid state device, because it having very huge range of voltage capability and that current capability. Okay, that is not easily acceptable, easily available with the other solid state devices. But again the problem is that switching frequency, so it is not able to run very high frequency application. Okay, so that's why very sophisticated devices you have to go with that very sophisticated devices. That's why you are much more follow about your other devices like your IGBT, MOSFET, BJT. Okay, that's the basic motivation. So here you can see that MOS control thyristor, MCT. Okay, MOS control thyristor means it's a special type of thyristor. So gate is there, anode and cathode both are common. Okay, so you are providing that gate. So like MOSFET, there are some channel will be formed. Okay, so as per the channel, so you are sometimes you are control some of the currents flowing through these devices. Still an emerging device. Okay, so again you are trying to improve or enhance the capability of this MOS control thyristor MCT. Okay, so it's an P-type devices and commercially available. Okay, but latching of the SCR with added building the MOSFET to assist the turn on and turn off that process. Okay, that limitation may be overcome by the MCT that I am telling my previous slide. The main disadvantages of that SCR good, okay, solid state devices, okay, like thyristor, GTO. Okay, and then small feature size, highly interdigitated modern fabrication. Okay, so totally depends upon your fabrication, so how to fabricate your devices. Okay, but it having some limitations. Then you can see that equivalent circuit of MCT. Okay, so two MOSFETs are there. Okay, so two MOSFETs are there and anodes are, that's a PNP and NPN. Okay, so that portion is directly taken for the thyristor. Okay, so this portion is the construction of the thyristor. Okay, this portion, and two MOSFETs are connected here. That MOSFET, two MOSFET are connected over here that can control the gate. Okay, so here that you can see the common gate is there. Okay, common gate is there. That gate, that common gate is there. So one terminal is directly connected to the base, another leg is connected to the base. Okay, so rest of the thing is same. Okay, so negative gate anode voltage turns P channel MOSFET, that is Q2. Okay, it is P channel MOSFET and it is N channel MOSFET. Okay, so positive and causing for Q1 and Q2 to latch. So positive gate anode current will be turned off N channel MOSFET. Okay, that was P channel MOSFET. It is P channel MOSFET Q3 and Q4 is your N channel MOSFET. Okay, so reverse biasing the base emitter junction of Q2 and turning on the devices. Okay, so that may responsible for the turning on the devices. Maximum current. Okay, maximum current that can be interrupt is limited by the on resistance, that is here Q4. Okay, so definitely maximum current can be interrupt. Okay, so what you can observe from the study that the thyristor family, the double injection layer is required. Okay, so forward voltage drop, very high voltage devices more difficult to parallel than the MOSFET and IGBT. The constructions and complexity is much more higher in MOSFET in your SCR. Okay, the SCR is the highest voltage and current rating that I am telling you, that low cost passive turn off transition. So it's not that active device, so it's definitely it's an active device, but passive turn off transition is required, means active additional circuit is required. The GTO, that intermediated rating less than the SCR, somewhere more than IGBT, slower than IGBT, slower than MCT, difficult to drive. Okay, the GTO same problem is there. The MCT so far rating is lower than IGBT. Okay, slow, but it is slower. Okay, slower than also IGBT, easy to drive. Second breakdown problem, still emerging device. Okay, so these are the basic overview of different solid state devices in SCR group. Okay, thyristor group. So after that we can go for the switching losses. Okay, but that portion will be discussed in my next class. Next class means next Monday classes. Okay, so I think this is enough for today's class. So tomorrow there is an exam. Okay, so MCQ type exam. So I think all of you will be able to prepare that portions of your module 1. Okay, so I think that is so